Reptile Man 11, and I've just come back from Blackpool Reptile Room, and they've done me an incredible deal on a baby Burmese python hatchling kit, or underneath the scientific name, Python bivarium. Now, the best thing about this hatchling kit, it's only temporary, but it will last it until I can get him a good size enclosure, like a 4 by 2 by 2, or if he's a bit bigger than that, a 6 by 2 by 3. Now, let's take a look at the enclosure, then we'll look at the snake. Now guys, this is the complete starter kit they gave me. Very professional, and also big enough to last a snake around 3 to 4 months. As you see here, it is a lovely 32-inch wooden and glass enclosure, which will last the snake a good considerable amount of time before I need to place it in a much larger vivarium. Now just bear in mind guys that these are a large bodied reptile, and care must be taken in making sure you have the correct space to house these lovely animals in. Okay, my slithery friends, the first thing to do is to wipe down the enclosure of any germs and dust with a dry and a wet cloth, also using the correct disinfectant like this deep clean long lasting disinfectant reptile spray. Now give it a quick few squirts and a wipe down, and then make sure then you grab a towel like this and dry it correctly to avoid any problems for the snake. Now it's time for installing the heat mat into the enclosure. Now with this type of enclosure, the heat mat pushes in between two bits of glass, and you can just see at the top here, like this. There we go. So guys, that is the heat mat in place all ready for attaching the thermostat, and the thermostat probe just goes through this little white plastic hole, and what that does, that sits in the glass, or you can even tape it to the glass, and what that does is it allows for a proper accurate reading of the correct temperature using a decent thermostat. Okay guys, now we're going to be putting in the substrate for the Burmese python. Now I've got a good sized bag here. Just going to empty all this out. Just enough there to cover the majority of the floor space of the enclosure. Right, okay, so that is the substrate down. So that is awesome. Now for placing the hides. Now guys, make sure you quickly sterilise these hides. Using kettle water would work. Give them a quick wipe down, sterilise them, and also anything which is cork bark or any decor really, like plants, and also your water bowls. So give them a good rinse out, and also make sure they're bone dry before adding any water, to make sure there's no more disinfectant left on the materials you're using for your enclosure. Okay guys, so adding in the hides on the hot side, which is over here, and then we have an ambient side over here. Which this does, it allows the snake to properly regulate the body temperature. So when the snake is over here, if it feels too hot, it will slither over in the water bowl to cool down, or under a nice retreat shade under this cave here. Okay, so now we have two more things to add, and that is a plant and a big cork bark. Now the reason why I'm putting in quite large things as enclosure, like this big cork bark here and some plants, because the viv is quite big, I'm packing it out with other decor to make the viv look smaller to the snake. Okay guys, so now we have the vivarium set up. So we have a hot side on the left and a ambient side on the right. We decored it now, so we have the water bowl, we have the cork bark, hollowed out log, artificial plant. I'll probably buy a couple of more and scatter them around. Okay guys, so now you've seen the snake enclosure. Now let's take a look at the snake itself. Okay guys, now this is my new snake, the Hypo Burmese python. Now I've never seen something so beautiful as this. Honestly, the video is not doing it any justice at all. Now, when I went to the reptile shop, they had a wide range of Burmese pythons when it comes to different colours or on the polymorphic scale. There were quite a few of them to choose from. There were the labyrinth albino, there were albino granite, there were the normal or wild type, or the one like this, which is extremely beautiful, hypo. Just have a little look. I don't want to scare him too much. He's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Okay, let's get you in your new enclosure. Good boy. Okay guys, so my new Burmese python is now acclimatising to his new enclosure. All these new things to explore and new smells. I'm really excited to keep you guys updated on future, his first feed, and etc. moving into a larger enclosure. Now guys, there's a couple of tips I'd like to just give you before I go. And the first tip would be to, before you buy this beautiful creature, make sure you have enough space in your room or your house for a mature specimen, because they need enclosures between 6 and 8 foot. And this also depends on the sex of the animal, because sexual dimorphism plays quite a large part when it comes to large boarded snakes. Now when it comes to Burms, the male specimen usually reaches between 8 and 12 feet, and the female specimen usually reaches around 12 to 16 feet, but have been known to reach 20. So it just gives you guys an idea on the size of the animal. And the second tip which I got from the reptile room was a really simple one but very effective, and that is to don't overfeed your Burmese python, or in fact any large boarded snake. So a lot of people make the mistake of buying a hatchling, and because they want it to get big so quick, they just feed it and feed it, and then it grows up to be a really large snake, and they can't afford or they can't handle it anymore. So then a couple of years after, you see the snake of Gumtree sold. So just bear that in mind. Just pay the snake a lot of respect and just feed it what the snake needs. Every 2 weeks, once a month. Reasonable size prey items depending on the girth, the widest part of the snake's body. And then, you know, don't let this deter you from buying one. They really are an amazing snake to own. I used to own 2 of them 10 years ago, and they make fantastic pets. I've never seen a snake so calm and chilled out as a Burmese python. They're very smart, they're very beautiful, they never have a problem feeding. The husbandry is really straightforward. They really are beautiful big snakes, and they're big cuddle monsters. They do love a good cuddle. Yeah, so I just want to give the reptile room a shout out, and they are based in Blackpool. Now I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to owning such a beautiful animal. These guys in the reptile room are fantastic, so if you guys are after a first snake or another snake to your collection, these are the guys to go for. And don't forget, they are moving buildings, so check the Facebook for updates or check my channel. Thank you very much guys. If there's anything I've done wrong in this video or anything you'd like to know about my new snake, just leave a comment below and I'll be sure to check it out. Make sure you hit that like button and have a nice day. Thank you.